All right, so now what we're going to do is glue together the center sections. We've drilled the dowel holes, so we're ready to do the glue up process. I'm going to use two 3/8 inch diameter by 2 inch long dowels, and that's what's going to hold the boards together. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to put some glue on the surface of the board and a little bit of glue in the dowel hole, not very much. Get the glue on here, and I'll drop a little glue in there, not too much, a little glue in each dowel hole. And then I'm also going to put glue on the dowels. So you got to smear this stuff around. Don't worry about getting it on your finger, it'll clean right off with soap and water. So we'll get that all taken care of. Nice thin layer of glue. You don't need too much, but you do need enough to coat the surfaces evenly. Now I'll take my dowel and this little bit of glue that I have left over. I'll just smear some glue onto the dowel and put the dowel in the hole. And I'll grab some more glue off of here and smear some glue on the dowel and put this dowel in. It's a little tight, so I'm going to get a mallet and tap that in. And then I want to make sure that I've got a little bit of glue around the surface of this dowel, or this end of the dowel as well. And the same thing over here. So I like to get glue in the dowel hole and on the dowel, and on the surfaces that are being glued together. All right, now we're ready to put them together, but one thing to be aware of, I could accidentally put the boards together upside down. Make sure that you can see your match marks that you put on the board facing up on both boards before you put them together. So these are ready to go together, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tap these together a little bit. Use my fist. That's a little hard to tap, so I'll use a mallet. And don't be concerned about making them come all the way together. We're going to put them into the clamp, and the clamp will help draw them together. Now the clamps I'm using are bar clamps. These are bar clamps. So I've got some glue blocks on the bar clamps, and I've got the bar clamps adjusted just about the right distance apart. I want to get the bar clamp lined up so that the bar of the clamp is maybe lined up with where your dowel is. And now what I'm going to do is squeeze the movable end of the clamp up against the board. And then the same thing on this side. And squeeze the movable end of the clamp up against the board. Now I'm going to tighten the lead screw, and that starts to push the joinery together. And I've got a little bit of glue squeezing out, which is just perfect. That's what I'm looking for. And you don't have to tighten these too much, just tighten them enough so that the joinery comes together. Now that little bit of glue that's squeezing out right there, you can get a wet paper towel and just wipe off that excess glue so that you don't have as much work to do afterwards. I'll flip this over and see if I've got some squeeze out on the bottom, which I do, so I'll wipe off as much of that glue as possible. You don't have to be really super accurate with this, just try to get some of the excess glue off. And then one last thing to do is look from down here and make sure that it looks like it's flat on the clamps. And this one looks pretty good, but I'm going to give it a little tap with the mallet to make sure that it sits flat on the clamps. Okay, and when you get it done clamping these two pieces together, I'd like you to write your name, period, and date on here so that we know who it belongs to. So I'm going to go ahead and write my name across here. And I'm going to put that this is period 1, and the date today is 10/21/13.